Hey everybody, it's Elizabeth with World's Cup of Joe, the inspired goddess. Before I start, just a reminder, if you like our content, please click on the subscribe button and feel free to share our channel with those of your friends that you feel may resonate with our content. So recently I made a video on inspired downloads and what you should do if you get inspired downloads. Now I want to take this video one step further beyond inspired downloads and what that looks like. And I want to share with you guys two stories that I heard this week that impressed upon me so much. They were so inspiring. They were so incredible. They almost like defied what my brain could figure out how they could even be possible, right? So I heard these two stories and I was like, I've got to share them with you guys because they were just so inspiring and motivational. So let me start off with the first story. I was in yoga class earlier in the week and we were trying to hold a 2-minute plank, which to us, that's still a long time. Even though I do yoga every day, it is still a long time to try to hold that position for 2 minutes. So we always ask in class, like for the instructor to tell us a story when we have to hold plank for so long to sort of distract our minds. So she told this story about how recently, back in February, there became a new woman record holder for longest plank held. And the new record was just over 4 hours. My mind was absolutely blown. Like seriously, how could someone possibly hold a plank position for 4 hours? So the rest of the week in yoga, every time we were in plank position, my mind went back to that story. How is it even possible 4 hours someone could hold this? So this weekend I was like, I've got to research this. I've got to see how this is possible. So it's a really cool story about a woman who a few years ago, she could hold a plank for 2 hours. Well, she wanted to beat the record. And so she started training with the man's record holder. And let me just tell you guys, he can hold the plank for 8 hours. Seriously inspiring. But anyways, he started training her. And within a few years, she was able to double her time to hold the plank for 4 hours. And I watched a video, like a condensed video of her doing her challenge. And it was like, my heart was so open and full for her because she achieved something that not many wouldn't want to do, but the thought alone of it seems like it's an impossibility, and she achieved it. And it just shows anything is possible. And that's the inspiring messages that I want to share with you guys today. So the next story, totally different, but no less grand in scale of wow, how did she do that? Is this woman who, for a research experience, went to live underground in solitude for 500 days in a cave. And there was one tiny exception when she had to move out of the cave and she stayed alone for another 8 days when she had some tech work that needed to be done for the cave. But besides that, she was in a cave by herself for 500 days alone. And this is what's the incredible part of the story. It's not even that she did that. It's her attitude about doing it. When she was finally called back and said, okay, your time's up, 500 days is over, she was like in disbelief. Like, how could time have gone so quick, right? We're all thinking like, oh my God, how did she endure 500 days? She was thinking, there's no way 500 days could have already passed. And her response was like, I didn't even get a chance to finish reading my book, which, by the way, she had read 60 while down there in that time period. So it just goes to show how powerful inspired action can be when you are really driven with the sole purpose. And now you don't need to go hold a plank for 4 hours, and you don't need to go live underground in a cave for 500 days to really pursue something that is like weighing on you, that is nudging at you, that is inspiring you. And I'll give you me for an example. Almost 2 years ago, I had this urge to go and live on a farm. I had been born and raised in big cities all my life, and I wanted to know what it felt like to live in small town America. So I went exploring on the internet. I just picked a house that I sort of wanted to see manifest itself. And I came across this log cabin on 6 acres on a farm. And it was in a small town in Illinois. and I bought it sight unseen. I hadn't even listed my current house yet, but I knew that it was going to all work out for the best. I knew my current house would sell and that it was all going to work out. I just felt it. I knew it was inspired action. And the way I knew that was because there was no fears associated with what I wanted to do. No fears. And that's sort of how you can tell when you are being inspired through soul. It'll just be like this overwhelming love feeling that you have when you think about it. There will be no fears attached. And I just wanted to share this with you guys because we all have source energy inside us, and it gives us that power to turn off fear. It gives us the power to turn off the mind chatter and allow us to turn seemingly impossible dreams into reality. I never thought I'd be living on a farm with like horses and cows outside my yard. I never thought that. But here I am, and I get to watch life unfold for me in such a vastly different way than if I would have stayed in Phoenix living there. You don't have to be able to hold a plank for 4 hours or go live in an underground cave for 500 days to do something amazing and step outside of your own self-limitations. Life is not a competition of greatness amongst others. Life is about expanding yourself and seeing where your own dreams and imaginings can take you. Whatever it is, you, my loves, are limitless.